Hey guys, it's Nut. It's been a while. Good to see you guys again. Again, sorry that I haven't been here for a while. It's been almost 2 weeks. If you're not following me on YouTube, you probably can guess what happened. Usually I'm a little bit more cheery than this. This is the holidays. I mean, we just got done with New Year's. So, of course, Happy New Year. Hope you guys had a good holiday. Not much I just don't feel like playing games right now, but hey, Abyss, welcome back. It's good to see you. Sorry, my wireless mic is not working, so I'm gonna have to cook just like this. How you guys doing? And I know it's been a while, so I apologize for not being here for almost 2 weeks, but it's been one of the hardest 2 weeks I've ever had. No, I'd probably say it is the hardest 2 weeks I've had personally. And yeah, I don't know. I still feel like, Ellie, my dog, is still here with me, but you know what? Things got to move forward. I tried to do a bit of a stream after she was gone, which is about 2 weeks ago, but I just couldn't do it. This is why I did the video, and I couldn't help but just break down. But I don't want to keep this stream, as a sad stream, but we all have to move on sometime. But yeah, the reason usually you guys see me is usually I play games. Snow, what the hell? I don't know if you guys can see my other dog here. Snow, he's still here. 11, 12, 13 years old going on. No, that's not for you, that's mine. Yeah. Thanks, Abyss. I don't blame too many people not tuning in right now. It has been a while, and even right now I feel like I am a bit new at this because, me, usually I play horror games, but I tried playing some games to keep my mind off, but I just couldn't. What am I making? I have a pork chop here. I'm gonna make some noodles, and that's pretty much it. Instead of teaching you guys how to make recipes, I'm just gonna make whatever is in my fridge right now, because right now the only thing that's keeping me calm or from breaking down is either working or cooking. I tried video games, but it just doesn't work. I found it a bit soothing if I just kept talking to people, because today I actually went back to my old gym. It's been over 2 years, and it helped out a lot. So this year, not only am I going to keep trying to grow my channel, but I'm going to do my best to, get in shape. I said that last year, but it didn't help out. But I promised this year I would. But yeah, so I'm going to get a pork chop. I'm going to make some noodle soup, and that's pretty much it, because that's what I have in my fridge. Don't think it's there we go. That's the wrong pan. Don't know if it's the right time, but oh man, where's my oil? One sec. In all honesty, I don't know. I gotta say, Ellie's loss was not only unexpected, but it affected me a lot more than I thought. But yeah, I didn't think that little dog had such a big impact on me. I lost people before. I lost friends due to, one took his own life, one due to overdose, but never have I actually thought that, that little girl that I had for only 2 years, that I would be so attached to it. And hey, Savro, welcome. Good to see you. It's not the usual time that I play games, but I don't know if you know what happened, but 2 weeks ago my dog passed away, unfortunately. And right now, I just don't feel like playing any sort of games. I'd rather just cook and chat. Don't think of this as a cooking and chatting video. but I am more in tune with chatting with you guys more than anything else. But yeah, 2 weeks. The first 3 days I would say is probably the hardest. I could barely mutter a sentence, and for those of you who don't know, um, I didn't eat for 3 days, and by the third day, my mom was actually getting kind of worried. She was quite attached to that dog as well. We all were. So, yeah, it's the first time it's the longest I've ever eaten without. It's the longest in my life I've ever not eaten. 3 days. I just drank water. And that's it. And funny enough, I think I could have gone on to like 4 days. Um, I, I don't know what to say about that. And funny enough, I was feeling hungry, but at the same time, every time I felt hungry, my fucking A. Needed more oil. My my sadness kept kicking in. So yeah, trust me, if I had to play games tonight and chat with you guys, I probably couldn't have done it. But I know I've been keeping you guys, waiting for a little bit too long, 2 weeks. But thanks for saying so, Swap. Yeah, I don't know. I never realized just how I was never an overly attached person, but the one thing I did realize was that maybe that's why that's maybe because maybe I can get a little bit too attached. 2 years ago, my grandmother passed away. Granted, it was on her deathbed, and I was sad, but I recovered pretty well. But I had friends who took their lives and stuff, overdosed and whatever. But never did I think that a little dog could make my life uh, so wonderful. I just realized now, but you know, I my house has been eerily quiet because Ellie was the one that was always happy and coming up to me and like wanting me to pet her and stuff. While my other dog, he's still alive. He's more the opposite, where he's more or less kind of, how do I say this? He's more lazy. He's way more chill. You lost 4 pets. Thanks, Fob, and thank you for saying so, Abyss. Sorry, there's not many people. I assume, hopefully, it is the holidays, but also because I haven't been here for too long. Tonight, yeah, the only thing I can do. There you go. Nice little pork chop right here. That's how you render the fat down. But yeah, I prefer not to. Maybe this is a changing of my stream. I find myself more relaxed and more of myself and more comforting when I'm just purely chatting with you guys. Where I play video games, even though I enjoy it, I have to pay more attention to the game. But for cooking like this, it's rather easy for me. It's soothing. Hey, Hui, good to see you, and Shuyan, welcome. Yeah, good to see you guys. Yeah, Happy New Year, guys. But yeah, like I said, hope you guys are doing well. Thanks for coming by. I know it's been 2 weeks, but trust me, it's been the hardest 2 weeks of my life. It's harder than when I went through exams. It's harder when I was, when I closed down my business. I'd rather go through all that than what I go through the past 2 weeks. Trust me. But yeah, how you guys been? You finally finished the final exam this semester? Well, finishing is one thing. Getting a good grade is another, Hui, so I hope you've done well. Anyways, I'm cooking some pork chops. Just follow along. But yeah, I do this a lot when I was in my restaurant, which I can just cook, and 1 out of every 20, 30 people would just stare at me or look at me while cooking. And if I can hear them and they can hear me, I would just cook and talk at the same time. So believe it or not, I'm actually in my element. Thanks, Abyss. Anyways, hopefully one of these days I will go back to playing some video games. But right now I just couldn't find any sort of joy in doing that right now. But cooking, it's always something that kind of relaxes me. And rather than teaching you guys, this is more of a chatting stream rather than cooking stream, believe me. So I'm just cooking pork chop, very, very simple. I got it on sale, $2 a pound, quite a steal. Usually they're like $3. And then I got some rice noodles. I'm gonna use the instant pho broth to make a soup, and then with some garnish. That's pretty much it. So again, don't think of me as in trying to teach you guys how to cook. I don't think I make a very good teacher anyway. There we go. Anyways, how's your year going? This year, hopefully real estate bounces back. It's been a rough year for me. And right now, oh, I do have some, I guess you can say some good news, by the way. I know my dog Ellie passed away, but somewhere in the back of my head, I just called. Oh, you started to learn how to cook, Shuyan? Well, congrats. I think everyone should start cooking. Like I said, cooking is not only saves money, but also saves time. And what I mean by that, if you ever go on a date, just tell them that you're going to cook for them. There's no way they would say no, because it's really intimate and you get to save money. And if you're very, very good, you're pretty much, like if you're going to cook for a girl, just say, I'll cook for you. Meet me at my house, or I'll cook at your house. You pretty much done half the work, which is meeting them at the house. Half the work is already done. You're at their place, right? Yeah, it's fun. Trust me. Cooking isn't complicated. It's not like we're here trying to make some kind of Michelin star, you know. One sec. And let me get a lid. Let me get a lid. Yeah. Anyways, pork chop. I know not everyone eats pork, but the reason I like it just because, well, Asians, we are the biggest consumption of pork. If you didn't know that, sweet and sour pork chop, don porro, all those things. Trust me, they're overly complicated, but pork is delicious. And the reason we eat more pork than chicken or beef is very simple. Well, in China, pork is the cheapest, okay? Because raising a pork is a hell of a lot cheaper than raising a chicken and a cow. Hui, there's no need to worry. No one's a pro here. I'm not a pro. I'm just a regular cook. So, you don't have to worry about it. We're not trying to impress anyone here. I'm just cooking with whatever I have in my fridge. Bit of an idea game for you to play, but it'll be a very 50-50 game though. What is it, Spop? Started cooking a year ago, but not pro much. Trust me, unless you're trying to become a chef, there is really no such thing as a pro. You might be a pro at like grilling or stir frying, but unless you're like an actual chef, I would never consider anyone a pro. Just because you know how to cook at home doesn't mean you know how to be a chef. Same, exactly, Hui. Cooked chicken and family liked it, so that's good. Well, take it with a grain of salt, Shuyan. When I started cooking, I was really bad as well. And then when I had my friends taste it, they was like, well, it's pretty good. But you never know. Trust me, if you want to get an honest opinion, get a customer, because they're paying for it. And they will tell you how good or how bad it is by their action. If it's good, they'll come back, but with no compliments. If it's not good, they'll come back and ask for a refund. I had that happen. So, but yeah, I realized just cooking for friends and family, cooking for myself is a hell of a lot more enjoyable. Kinito Pet, it's a fourth wall breaking game, and it's well to try to get you, well, you know. I played that game already. Cognito Pet Swap. You should go back and look at my playlist. I played. This year is my first year, my complete year, or last year I should say, was my complete year of streaming, and whew, I played almost every single kid-friendly horror game. Like Five Nights at Freddy's, Poppy Playtime, all that good stuff. And Cognito Pet was obviously one of them. For dinner or later, I cooked breakfast, I cooked lunch and dinner before. You know, how do you think I got to so many girls' apartments? I could have done the deed, but you know, I was always like, it's real easy. Believe me, if you guys want to get a date with a girl or vice versa, just say I'm gonna cook for you. Right now, have you seen? I don't know what country you guys are in, but I'm sure that inflation is everywhere in the world, and going out to eat right now is stupidly expensive. And I found that most of the restaurants have cut down on the quality of their food. So it's not even worth it for me. Like I love a good burger, but now if I want a burger, it's like $12. Not really worth it. And if I want something like a Philly cheesesteak, absolute favorite, it's like $15 to $18. The only time I go out and eat is I see something of real value. Like if I want my chilled Philly cheesesteak, I found out there's a food truck near my neighborhood sells it for like $8.50. He's a one-man show, and sometimes his daughter is there. Mwah, chef's kiss, great service. He makes it in like 3 to 4 minutes. Beautiful. KFC is so bad now as it used to be good. Well, it depends where you are, Shuyan. If you're in the US, KFC is kind of bad. I don't know why people here say it's a mixed bag. I always found KFC in the US is kind of disgusting. But if you're in like Japan, China, Korea, KFC is like a real treat. KFC is like, in Japan, I know that during like Christmas, they have it for Christmas. It's like turkey to Thanksgiving and KFC to Japan. That's what I know. Thanks, Spop. Happy New Year to you guys, too. Well, name it, Spop. But like I said, you see how my mood has improved now just talking to you guys? If I was just playing a game, well, I'd be screaming on my ass off. But in the back of my head, you know, it will always be my... I always have a little bit in the back of my head, my little girl, you know, is still with me. All right, this is almost done. Damn it. Alright, here's one little trick. If you don't know, you should cook pork to well done. Don't eat raw pork or medium pork, okay? This is one of the trick I told you guys about. This goes the same with chicken. Take a toothpick and poke it in the thickest and in the middle for like 2-3 seconds. Afterwards, hold it to the top of your lip like this. And if it's, depending on the temperature, you'll know the doneness. I know this needs a little bit extra time. So it's warmer than my upper lip. So right now I would say it's like medium. I know what the temperature I'm looking for. And, but yeah, I've cooked pork a lot. And this is one of the cheapest cuts. And, but yeah, but that's how it works. Same thing with chicken. If it's like super hot, like, ow, then that means it's overcooked. But if it's, you just have to get used to it. I can't exactly tell you the feel of the temperature. You just have to know about it. Your body temperature right here is about 97, 98 degrees Fahrenheit if you're in America. But you're trying to cook it to around 135 to 140. It might be a little bit, you guys might think that's a little bit raw, but that's how I like my pork. I would say it's on the verge of in between well done and medium well. It's tinge pink, tad pink, and it needs to be juicy. Talos Principle, puzzle game, a very interesting one. I'll write that down, Svop. Thanks for telling me. You and me and her? Is that a game you're talking about, Hui? You use chopsticks? Well, I got chopsticks right here. But cooking in the kitchen for a while, you get See, these are I don't know if you guys can tell, but these I have these marks right here. These are from the oil popping off, like you know. And then I developed some calluses on my fingers, so that's why I have no problem like moving the pork with my fingers. Don't do that. You guys should use chopsticks or tongs or whatever. Well, duh. Of course they get sick, Shuyan. That's you never eat raw pork and never eat raw chicken, okay? That's basically poison. You get something like called if you eat raw chicken, it's salmonella. You do not want to have that, okay? JPEG, hey, what's going on, my man? Sorry, I know this is not the usual stream you probably expect. I'm cooking right now. I'm just cooking a pork chop. I'm actually in my element. Usually, you guys would probably see me screaming. Okay. Perfect. I think this is almost enough. Another 2 minutes, I would say, and that should be good. The reason I put a lid on is because it cooks from the bottom and the top, okay? See ya, Hui. But yeah, I miss streaming. I missed you guys, but I just didn't want to make it to the point where I just didn't want to see you guys. I could barely get any words out for the past 2 weeks. I talked to some of my friends, and you know, they all gave me comforting words, but at the end of the day, I know, like mentally, I have to be strong and I have to move on, and these things just happen. Okay, that's enough. So right now, I'm just gonna put it here to the side and let it rest. After I'm done with the noodles, then I pretty much then I can pretty much, it's pretty much done resting. So now I'm just gonna cook some noodles. Marvel Rivals? Yeah, I know that game. It's just JPEG. I'm about to get paid soon. If you guys didn't know, I'm in real estate, by the way. I have a closing, hopefully within 2-3 weeks. I was supposed to get paid last month, but unfortunately there was something wrong with the house, so we ended up killing that deal and we had to go with another house. This is the reality of real estate. Sometimes things work out, sometimes things don't. So hopefully by the end of the month I will get paid and I can get some new games. But like I said, JPEG, these 2 weeks has been quite hard, and I personally didn't really want to play any sort of games. Alright. Let's prep the garnishes. This is really uncomfortable the way I'm cutting it. Usually I get up close, but because my mic is right here. By the way, my wireless mic is not working. I swear it's probably the worst mic I've ever had. It worked yesterday, and it wouldn't work today. It just pisses me off. So this is just some scallions. So as you can see, it doesn't need to look professional. I don't really care if it's professional. Especially when you're cooking for someone, all you care about is the freshness and the flavor. And as long as you put some effort into it, whoever you're cooking for is going to be satisfied. Crack, what's going on? Hey man, good to see you. Rivals is free. Wow, really? Maybe I should. It's not that I don't want to play it. JPEG, my bad. It's just that if you guys, I know I'm repeating myself, but JPEG and Crack, 2 weeks ago, my little Ellie, my little dog, passed away due to an unleashed pit Doberman mix, an aggressive breed. Turns out the owner is literally like, we share the same alleyway, and it was an old lady who's in her 70s, and it was that day that she opened the door and to get the mail and ran out and then attacked my dog. I was literally like 5-6 minutes away when my mom called me, and if it wasn't for bystanders, I think my mom would have gotten attacked too, because the two gentlemen who came by, they told me to tell my mom to get on the ground. So, and even after the dog got off, due to one of them had pepper spray, they it was still surrounding my mom. Anyways, that's just what happened. Left their 14-year-old kid on the stream. Are you talking about me? Anyways, I know you guys like spaghettis and stuff, but this is my thing. This is rice noodle. In my region of Guangxi, which is South China-ish, this is what we ate. We are stupidly close to Vietnam, so when you see pho, yeah, we share almost the exact same kind of, I wouldn't say culture, but cuisine. We eat a lot of rice noodles. I know you guys, you got the Italians with their pastas and stuff, but for me, rice noodles beats everything. With a good broth, whether it's pork, chicken, beef, seafood, there's just something about the silky, smooth texture and the bounciness of rice noodle that just gets me. And that's it. As you can see, it's done pretty much. Water turns white because of all the starch. That's it. I'm just rinsing the noodles, by the way. Is that so, Crack? A bit of a warning for all of you people who are not pet owners. I never had a dog when I grow up. I got Snow, which is and then previously Botan. I only had pets about, I would say maybe a little bit over 13, 15 years ago or something. I was in my early 20s. But trust me, you get extremely attached to them. And with Ellie's death, I just didn't realize how much it would have affected me. Because I had friends who passed away, and I was able to deal with their death in a very non-emotional way. I was sad, but I was like, okay, it is what it is. But Ellie, she was... I just love that girl. Like I said before, she is... Out of all the dogs I've owned, every time I come back home, she's the one that greets me happily, while Snow is like just there, chilling. So it's kind of like you get home, you have this. It's almost like a drug. It's like someone comes home and greets you that way, and smiles, makes you feel important, makes you feel happy. And then we lost that, and we lost her, and. Yeah. Hey, Harvey. How's it going? She was only with me for 2 years, Crack. She died way too young. It's funny because of all the dogs that I've gotten, Ellie is the only one that is like truly, like very obedient. She's a very people pleaser. While Snow and my previous dog, Botan, who's with my dad, by the way. By the way, if you don't know what this is instant pho paste. Think of it as like instant ramen, but hell of a lot cheaper and hell of a lot better. All right, and this is beef flavor. She was only 2, so she died way too young. Harvey, how's it going? How are you doing, my friend? Hope you guys had a great holiday and Happy New Year. I know that you guys are used to watching me, whatchamacallit, play games, but right now I just still dealing with the loss of my little girl. So I can only imagine what people has to deal with if they lost a parent or a child. It makes you, there's that old saying like you don't know how much you love something until they're gone. I know it sounds like a movie or a TV show cliche, I just didn't realize it would happen to me, at least not so quickly, in such a cruel way. So... okay, that's good. That's enough beef flavor, and just need a little bit more salt. Happy New Year, guys. Again, I apologize for not coming in, for not being here. But unless you guys want to see me, like, you know, crying all day, or just mope, or just lay flat like I'm half dead, that's that's the kind of stream you guys would have expected. But I miss streaming. I missed you guys, and you guys are technically kind of my therapist right now, because of these past days I was actually able to go to work and talk to some clients, and I feel like I can at least, I wouldn't, you know, it makes me feel a little bit better. And now that's why tonight I really wanted to stream. I just didn't know how many people are going to be here tonight. But for those of you who are able to make it, and for those of you who are watching or will be watching, thanks a lot. But just realize that it's not that I don't want to play games. It's just that, I don't know, the joy of gaming is really like the joy of gaming is really out of my, I don't know, how do I say this? I couldn't find any joy when I tried to play some games, right? Off stream. Nothing worked. I couldn't even play a game for like 5 or 10 minutes. So that's why I was like, you know what? It's probably not good for me to play games, or at least stream it, because obviously I gotta be entertaining. You guys don't want to see a guy moping around while playing a game, right? You guys want to see someone enjoy themselves. Alright, here's some peas. Alright, here's the noodle. Here's some corn, and then some scallions. And that's it for dinner. Trust me, I could have cooked this a lot faster, but I know I was having too much fun talking to you guys. That's it. Barely any work. Just takes a little bit of time. Alright. Let's see if I actually cook this correctly. Oh, there's a lot of juice in here. Let's not waste that. I know it's perfect. Just from the touch. That's perfect. There you go. Super juicy. There you go. See, like I said, it doesn't need to be fancy. Look at this. If someone made this for me, I'd be happy as hell. It's delicious. So I should have put the garnishes on last, but whatever. But yeah, if you have some corn, some cilantro or whatever, it's perfect. Thanks, Warren. Welcome. Happy New Year, Warren. Thanks for coming back here, guys. Yeah, no worries. No worries. Watch me on Twitch or YouTube, whatever it is you want. Yeah, no, Crack, I understand. Thanks for saying so, because this is actually when I'm in my element. You know, when I'm playing video games, I feel like, especially horror games, I'm not in my element because I'm not used to playing horror games. But here, I'm in my element. It's just cooking and chatting. It's so relaxing for me. A little less soup next time. Pork is tender and juicy, and that's what you want. But yeah, trust me, if you guys can cook something like this for your parents, your friend, your date, I promise you they're gonna be impressed. And this costs about $2, I would say, for all the ingredients. I'm all right, Harvey. Thanks. Yeah, no worries, Harvey. Usually, like, during this time, Ellie would be the one, like, coming up to me and asking me for some free food. But of all my dogs where Snow would be, like, harassing me, Ellie would be the one, like, sitting down there and wait for her food. She's always been, like, a pleaser. So, I guess that's why I was so attached to her. I hope you guys don't mind, though. Until I get my emotional bearings on mind, I think I'm just gonna cook and talk to you guys. Obviously, I can't talk for like three hours straight. I don't think you guys want that either. But every night, it's probably just gonna be me cooking something simple. You guys can follow along if you want to. It's not really a cooking show. It's more of a background. And plus, I don't know why, but well, I do know why. I just love talking to you guys. It feels like I got friends around, right? I still have friends around. Right now, I'm 34 years old. Yeah, I'm 34 now. New Year's. But yeah, and just talk about life. If you guys want me to watch something or there's maybe a topic you guys want me to discuss, I'd be happy to just chat it along. I think this is what a lot of YouTube or streaming is missing. It's just that right now in this age of internet and social media, we're so connected. We're more connected than ever thanks to the internet or technology. Yet so many people right now are disconnected from each other. I still remember a time when I actually had to memorize phone numbers or write them down. If I lost their number, well, I'm kind of screwed. Right now, it's just you can look them someone up in the in Facebook. So this is what I'm missing. When I started doing this, I feels like it might sound sad, but it's true. When I'm eating and I'm talking here with you guys, I just feel, it's comforting. Hopefully you guys don't mind the slurping and stuff because it's good food. Have I ever owned a cat? No, I thought about it, but you have to realize I'm still living with my mom. I was able to get my own place before, but then I had to sell off my stocks and stuff because I wanted to start a restaurant. That went bankrupt. So this is how I know how to cook. So I moved back, and trust me, my mom didn't want a second dog. It was actually a surprise for her. But after like a day or two, she loved that dog almost as much as me. So thanks, guys. Thanks. Yeah, thanks, Crack. I always prefer the chatting string. I agree. It's not that I won't play games ever again, but yeah, I find these chatting streams a lot easier on me. Believe me, if you guys ever do meet me in real person, don't have to tell me your real name or your username or your chat name. I'm a much better conversationalist when I can talk to someone. I am a salesman after all, right? I'm in real estate. Nothing beats fried tofu with good old soup. I actually prefer tofu over meat when it comes to like these noodle soups. But if you ever make this, trust me, this is way better than ramen. This costs about $5. I can make like 15 to 20 soups out of this. Way cheaper than, your instant ramen. I know some restaurants actually do use this. Hey, Wolf, welcome back. No, thanks for coming back, everyone. As I was telling everyone, Happy New Year. Hope you guys had a wonderful holiday. Let's hope 2025 is better. But like I said, as of right now, I just don't have any emotional incentive to play games. But I think hopefully you guys will like this. You guys came from my personality anyway, right? After all, my channel's description is, I'm your favorite background noise. Trust me, after being gone for 2 weeks, I feel like I can talk for like at least 20 hours with you guys. You have. Thanks, Wolf. It's been a hell of a year. Trust me, give me your honest feedback. If I were to serve this to you guys at home, like this magnificent bowl of noodle soup, tofu, pork chop, some scallions, some corn, some green peas, I'm sure you guys would be happy, right? Like, I don't know whether you guys are male or female, but assuming you guys are female, you do me. Oh yeah, I wouldn't say cooking lessons, Shuyan, because this is just what I have in the fridge. Cooking is really not about recipe, unless you're baking. If you're making like a pie or a cake, then yeah, that needs to be followed to the T, because there's a difference between cooking and cooking pastry and this kind of cooking. With pastry, it's more chemistry. This, you can kind of like eyeball it. Thanks, Crack. Thanks, Harvey. Oh, I bet I can change your mind, Wolf. It's all right. It's all right. So it's more like cooking tips. If you want to know how to do cooking, it's not really about following a recipes, as I said. It's more about understanding what you are cooking. So when I cooked the pork chop, I know what I was doing. I just wanted it to be cooked correctly. I know the temperature that I wanted, and I know the texture that I wanted. And after I finish cooking that, it's just a simple of cooking a broth and then cook the noodles and then add stuff to it. It's not complicated at all. Once you understand what you're cooking, what you want to cook, and then understanding like there's like a sauce or a soup or a broth, you pretty much got almost every single cooking technique down. Unless you're trying to make some kind of like Michelin-starred lobster poached in high-grade butter with caviar or something, and then I'm sorry, then you need to be a chef then. Thanks, Fop. Assuming you're Russian, maybe a bottle of vodka? Making this on a cold, it is kind of chilly outside here in Texas. So making something like this for dinner is really, it fills the tummy, fills your soul. If whoever here is an American, the first time I tried Americans Campbell's noodle soup, man, it sucked balls. I hated it. If you guys like it, that's on you. But American noodle soup that looks like chicken gravy is absolutely rancid and disgusting. Noodles are overcooked. The soup, I should say, is more of a broth, more like a gravy, and super salty, and it tastes artificial as hell. Is that right, Swap? Well, you cook me whatever. You can cook me like a cheese sandwich. Almost a month ago, if you guys are this, if any of you who is a favorite of Mexican food, I learned how to make my own version of birria taco, and because down the street from my house, there's this place that makes really good street tacos. One of them is called Barilla or something like that, and corn tortilla dipped in like this red chili hot fat, fried in a pan, and then you put like what is it? I think it's like beef or something. A little bit of cilantro, a little bit of white onions, and then with that consomme gravy. I was like, oh my god, it's so good. And once I realized, like, oh man, I've been coming here for at least almost I was really craving it, but it's not too expensive, but it's not cheap either. So I decided to just make it myself once I learned the recipe, and boy, it tastes so much better when I made it myself. And I had like, it was so good. Because for me, I don't use memory, I use feelings. Yeah, agree, Shuyan. Us Asians, we just use the feelings. We just use the finger or the taste buds. But any good chef or any real chef would just tell you, if a chef should taste their own food. What do you think they're doing in the back of the restaurant when they're making sauces? They need to taste their own sauce, because how would they know? You don't know what a sauce tastes like unless you taste it, right? I know this soup, I had a lot of beef flavor here, but there's not enough salt, so I added more salt, which is good now. I'm always here there to cheer you up, because I tried an anime girl stream by typing in something, but it didn't show up, and they liked like they were a high. Well, I did consider one of the options I thought about. I was like, well, maybe I'm too ugly to be on stream, or I'm not charismatic enough, or I don't have that charismatic face. So I thought about maybe becoming a VTuber, maybe getting one of those anime avatars. And Wolf here told me that if you do that, I'm gonna stop watching you. I don't think I'm that bad looking, but anyways, yeah, I did get a perm about 3-4 weeks ago. I think it looked all right, but I've never had so much of my hair falling out before. Like when I go and like scruff it like this, usually at least 1 or 2, sometimes 5 strands falling out. That has never happened to my hair. But man, I guess I really underestimated the amount of chemicals they use. It wasn't cheap either. It was like $100 something bucks. And I was there for like almost at least an hour. Is that right, Harvey? Should you go by your pronouns? You go by Proziac or something? Mr. Bacteria? Been honest, I would make my favorite meal noodles with hot spices and fried egg. Noodles with hot spices and fried egg. Is that kind of a chow mein thing? Because I'm an expert at that. Hot spices. That sounds good. Don't worry, Wolf. I looked into the VTuber, and for me it was like looking into the Twilight Zone of never coming back, and I was like, maybe I should not keep going. It was for research, okay? I kept looking and kept looking to find some normalcy. No offense to all the YouTubers, but man, people are a little bit weird. Hey, if you're a VTuber fan, good on you, but it's a little bit too much for me. I'm a normal, functioning human being who is very comfortable with myself. Oh, almost. You never know that, Crack. I mean, underneath that voice, like a cute girly voice, have you seen these apps that I can change I use voice changers to change my voice into a girl. So you never know. That cute girl voice on VTube, that VTuber who has a cute voice, maybe it's like a 50-year-old, 60-year-old guy. It would ruin a lot of people's lives. And if you ever seen all these apps in China, bunch of them, they're starting to use AI to change the shape of your face. It's like beautification. Like they make your eyes bigger. If you're a girl, they hide all your, wrinkles and freckles or imperfections, and they shave off your jaw like this. And it's becoming a real social disease. I saw a documentary on it. It was creepy as hell. Hell, one of the video I saw that Asmongold I was looking at was Basically, this cute looking girl who looks like in her, I don't know, 18. I'm just gonna say because it's legal. All of a sudden, takes off the wig, takes off the camera, and it's like a 30, 40-year-old dude. It was the creepiest shit I've ever seen. I never in my eyes my eyes just went like, that's enough internet for today. And I've seen some weird shit. So you can't always trust that. Okay? Now, granted, this is like, I think it mainly works with Asian girls because all the Asians, haha, stereotype, they all look the same, right? They all got that super white, very young looking face. So it's easier to manipulate, where Western women are maybe a little bit more like, I don't know, what's the word? Exotic? So, yeah. Whenever you're into crack. Thing is that your favorite meal is like that hot at top and healthy fire underneath because noodles are with a lot of hot spices. That sounds like what I would use. I would make like a really, I love hot chili oil. You know, the ma la combination. Oops, didn't mean to do that, guys. Sorry, excuse me. But yeah, you could give me some noodles and then just dip in some soy sauce with some hot chili oil. I can finish that like 3 bowls of that. Let me know if like my cooking videos actually helps you guys. Unlike a lot of streamers, I couldn't stand all those processed junk food. Believe me, it's a habit. For me though, you see all those guys drinking like G Fuel. I never had that, by the way. I don't know what it tastes like. Potato chips, sodas. They live off of Mountain Dews and stuff. I used to do that too in my early 20s and late teens. It wasn't until I actually realized how bad the health was and how much it cost, how much money it cost, that I had to start cooking. And then this has been my lifestyle. Whatever's in my fridge, I cook with it. Okay? So that's how I learned how to cook. And eventually, even though I would say my favorite junk food is like potato chips, barbecue flavor potato chips, I don't really crave it anymore. And if I do, I can only eat like a moderate amount. If I eat too much, then my face starts to get a little bit, gets small pimples and stuff. And then my throat gets a bit of a inflammation. So it's all about a choice. If you eat clean, simple food more, then you're gonna get used to it, and all the other junk food doesn't seem all that enticing anymore. So hopefully, you know, this will entice more people to eat healthier. And plus, right now it's like a potato chip is like $5. Screw off. I mean, why would I pay $5 for a goddamn bag of potato chips? God Noob, welcome back. Good to see you. I wouldn't know. This is not my first cooking stream. Trust me. This is my first my first coping stream. My first coping stream. Welcome back, Hui. Is that right, Harvey? Can't you make your own potato chips if you want to? It shouldn't be that hard. It's not hard. It's just a lot of cleaning up and a lot of preparation, because you have to, potato chips is just potatoes seasoned with a bunch of, MSG and salt, depending on what flavor you want. But you have to, it's basically, the potatoes are peeled very thinly, and then you have to wash them to get all the starch out. If you don't wash the starch out, they become soggy. And then afterward, they have to be dried. And once they're dried, they go into the fryer to be fried. As soon as they're fried, you have to put the salt on there. So, can you make your own potato chips? Sure. But you're going to have to that's a lot of work. And all that extra oil that you have to buy for frying just potatoes. I don't know. I mean, you can also make your own, French fries. You can also make your own fried chicken. But it's a real mess. So I can honestly see why people don't, you know, they will go to and buy some KFC. Humvee, hey, and yeah, thanks a lot. God Noob and Humvee, everyone else, Happy New Year. But as I said, this is not a cooking stream, as more of a chatting and coping stream for me. Like I said before, as I started to say it again, due to the recent loss in my family, I just didn't have any sort of emotional investments to play games while talking to you guys. The only thing right now that is, you know, soothing or more of a calming effect on me, because I never understood why people drink alcohol or whatever when someone is lost, when they lost someone. But now I kind of understand. However, I don't drink alcohol. Okay, I don't touch alcohol because, well, it's expensive, and two, it's I have very low alcohol tolerance, and I don't think it tastes good. I don't like the bitter taste. So a beer, they don't taste good to me. When I did deal with a lot of stress, I would usually, I would actually just eat. So I would go to Whataburger. If you don't know what it is, it's basically a Texas version of McDonald's, but a lot better. I would just gorge myself on food. Like when my friend whose girlfriend broke up with him back in high school, I took him to Whataburgers. I bought like $70 worth of burgers and fries, milkshakes just for him. And we ate it together. We just gouged ourselves on food. But I know that's not a healthy way to deal stuff. So it's only after today that I was able to pull myself up and go out and go back to my gym and work out, and then doing a cooking stream. Because it was only because my boss, who knows what I'm going through, that he sent me some clients over the holiday saying, hey, someone from Canada is coming over to your city to look at some houses. So obviously I couldn't just tell them like my situation, but I was like, okay, it's better to get out of the house than doing nothing. And when I saw those clients, I was just, I guess you can say, back on track on, hey, this house is really beautiful. How are you guys doing? This is a great pool for your kids or whatever. Back to the usual stuff. And I felt a lot better during that time. So I started to go out a little bit more and more, just to either driving and then start cooking more. And today went back to my gym and talked to a few people that I haven't seen in a while. And it just feels a lot better. Now, if you don't know where Ellie is, we did not cremate her. I originally wanted to, but my mom, she told me that, we were at the vet and there was nothing they could do at that time. But she was basically just holding her, and she didn't want to do cremation because she didn't want to because if you don't know cremation, they leave the body in a fridge, in the freezer, and then after a week, they put the body in a furnace, and then you give your ashes or whatever. My mom didn't want to do that. She took Ellie home and gave her a bath, the final bath, and then I took the liberty of dig a hole. I dug a hole in my front yard, and I was actually, during that time, I was like trying to block it out because I didn't want to cry in front of my mom. But it wasn't until I finally finished digging the hole and my mom gave me her body that I started to break down. And by then I had to lay her down, and then after covering her up, I was just laying there in my front yard for like an hour or two. I just didn't want to move. And so yeah. Part of me was just trying to say, like, what happens if I didn't go out that day? What happens if I just armed my mom with a pepper spray instead? What happens if I was there instead? But I know I shouldn't think about these things, but just in the back of my head. Anyways. Yeah. Ellie wouldn't want me to be like this anyway. But the one good news that I can tell you guys is that For some reason, I dug into my phone's contact and looked up the Ellie's breeder, and turns out that she actually just had a litter. So, same parents. So, yeah. Hopefully, I'll be able to. Hopefully, in a month or two, we get to see her again. All right. Sorry, guys. Didn't mean to go on a rant like that. But yeah, I think this is be the end of my stream. But don't worry, I'll be here tomorrow, and the day after, and day after. And this has really been a therapeutical experience for me. And thank you so much for being here with me. I'm glad so many of you guys came by. And for those of you who are watching, or eventually will be watching, thank you so much. This might be the stream for a while because it helps me relax, just cooking and hanging out with you guys. I know most of you would just have me in the background and listening to me rant about a bunch of nonsense or whatever. But yes, thank you so much. I can't, most of my friends have kids, so I don't have much chance to talk to them because I got to put their kids to bed. But having you guys every single night talking to me while I cook, two of the things that relaxes me most, talking to you guys and, cooking. So please forgive me if I am not playing too many games for a while. So, yeah. Anyways, thank you guys so much for coming in. And I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time, okay? Have a good night. Bye.